Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Let's get right to it. Now today, just gonna have a little chat about life, about relationship, sex, all that stuff, especially the struggle that a lot of young men are facing nowadays. You know what I'm saying? We're in 2026, and a lot of guys today are just complete. They fit in a couple categories. One, the complete loser category, where they're just completely giving up in a way where they're complaining about their life, but they're not taking any actions. They're not really doing anything about their situation. They're just living life on autopilot, smoking a lot of weed, drinking excessively, watching crazy amount of, prawn, subbing to OF. And then, only way they can actually get, any sort of play is by paying for it, which, if you gotta get it by whatever means, I understand. But like, when you're complaining about your situation and you're not really doing anything about it, you're complaining about women, but then you're going to, all these different, venues and, getting your rocks off. Like, that's, you're the problem, my guy. Like, if you worked on yourself a little bit, you would get better action. So that's the first category, the loser category, who stays at home a lot, who stays at home unemployed, or even like working a part-time job and not really doing anything much with their life, and doesn't see a future, just somehow just living day to day, hoping that life just happens. Somehow good things just happen. Living in the basement dwellers, the excessive copium. That's what they take. So that's the first category. The second category of guys, they've given up, but these are actually genuinely good guys. They're probably, at one point, they were on this like trajectory of getting the things that they wanted. They've been on the self-improvement path, but maybe the pathways they've taken wasn't the best thing for them. Meaning, like, they've been trying to self-improve, but maybe they didn't have the right proper resources they needed to get the outcomes that they wanted, whether it's out of relationships, whether it's from dating. Like, basically, they were working hard in the wrong areas, so they faced a lot of burnouts, and then they gave up. So, those guys I have sympathy for, because I have been there. I have friends that have been there, and some friends that are going through that, so I understand. And then there's a third category of guys that are just absolutely crushing it. And these are the guys with absolute strong willpower. They have this fire in their heart that no matter what, no matter how much deep in the trenches they are, they'll find a way out and they'll succeed. These are the guys, they're much less common, but they're out there. And I met a lot of them, but they're not as common. So that's the third category of guys. So these are the three types of categories of guys that, are in 2026 and so forth. Unless, like, another category comes out. But that's where we're at. Like, we're facing a massive struggle in mental health, in men's mental health. Men are absolutely burnt out from trying to pursue relationships, dating. Men are even giving up, like, trying to hook up with women, even pursuing for casual hookups. Like, it's getting a lot harder for men. It's like the only way they can really do it is, it's just like either by paying for it, really, or, sleeping with somebody that they're not really attracted to. So, but the ones that they want, it's like typically is not wanting them back. And that's like usually how the game is. Usually the ones who you chase, they tend to run away from you. And the ones you don't chase, they tend to come towards you. That's usually what the game is, essentially. But it's more than that, of course. Because when you're a guy that's Shout out to Rom Wills, one of the great men in the in the self-improvement space, dating and relationship space. When you're a select man, you'll get yours no matter what. As long as you have a good attitude, good mindset, you have, good self-talk, self-belief about yourself, and you're putting in the work, you're going out talking to people, you're going out trying different things, you're going out being the best man that you can possibly be, and you'll get your fruits. You'll get your nut. You'll get your whatever it is that you want. It may not be right this very moment. It may not be like right this second, but who knows? Next week, next month, all of a sudden you get a lot in next year. You just have to have that unwavering self-belief about yourself, And I've struggled many times where I got up, I faced the whole highs and lows. Like, I came from a spot of low place where I was extremely unsatisfied with my life. I was watching crazy amount of porn. I wasn't really talking to women, but I know I wanted women. But then I was watching all these different content creators in the space, and they were just poisoning my mind. And it was actually making me weird when it came to like social interactions. And then after a while, like, I developed this mask, and it helped me get success to a point where I would be able to get people on a surface level, but once they see like how I really am, they wouldn't really like mess with me. So then after that lasted for a while, I realized like that I just have to be true to who I am and be as authentic as possible and keep working on myself. And then once I started like portraying my true self, I started getting a lot better quality action, options, reactions, attentions. It's because now I'm at a point where like I genuinely don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck if things work out or not. Like, I'm gonna live my life. I have one life, and I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going. That's how my attitude is now. And as long as I stay true to myself and I show others the real parts of me, not this like, facade or this mask, that's all that matters, So, but yeah, that's all I got right now. It's a short little, just talk about life, but we're gonna have more talks about this. So I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.